Welcome back to Talking Elvis. There has been a lot of box sets released throughout the years. Now, of course, all on CD. There's things like Platinum, Live in Las Vegas, Artists of the Century, Complete 50s recordings. I mean, there's a lot. But for the purpose of this video, I want to focus on the vinyl releases which came out during Elvis's lifetime and thereafter. So we'll start at the beginning. Box sets go way back to the 1930s and 1940s. However, it did take a long time before it transferred onto the pop market. And just like everything else, Elvis was one of the very, very first, if not the first, to have his own box set of vinyl. And this was it, released in 1970. Worldwide 50 Gold Award Hits, Volume 1. It's a very interesting box, and it actually has a really good presentation. It has all the songs listed, and also has a release date underneath in small writing. It's a 4-album set. Each album comes inside an RCA catalogue sleeve, all on the classic RCA orange label. And I'm pleased to say that my copy is in very, very good condition. Released in August at the time Elvis was being filmed during his engagement at the International, later to become That's the Way It Is. I actually think this was a very, very smart release from RCA. While people then would have been familiar with In the Ghetto, Suspicious Minds, recent songs, the catalogue goes way back to Heartbreak Hotel. It was a great way to expose Elvis's music. Back in 1970, the RIAA estimated really what Elvis's sales were, and there was somewhat of an assumption that these were old gold records. Elvis did not receive proper recognition for his sales throughout his lifetime. Quite staggering, really. It was only much, much later did RCA go back, I think 1992, and try to get an up-to-date record of Elvis's sales, and that's when they came out and said that Elvis had sold over 1 billion records throughout the world. If anything, this box set underestimates Elvis's sales. It's a fantastic collection of music. The problem is the sound quality, not taken always from direct masters. Some are copies of copies. Some tracks have been electronically reprocessed. But looking at it as a whole, I think it's a really fine set. One of the best things that RCA ever did. It comes with this booklet, Compliments of Elvis and RCA Records. Great front cover, great back cover. Inside covers are good as well. Some August '69 photographs and photographs from the NBC special. Not the best quality in photographs, but nice quality, glossy sort of paper. Picture there from Stay Away Joe as well. It was very much seen as a luxury item at the time, selling for $20, which is about $150 in today's money. If you have a set, including the booklet, it is worth about $80 or so. Overall, it's a great set. Worldwide 50 Gold Award Hits, Volume 1. It would go on to be double platinum. In 1971, RCA would release Volume 2, which is this one, and contains all the B-sides of the singles which were on Volume 1. Again, another great idea. Slightly different label, I think. I think these are tanned labels. But again, they come in the RCA catalogue. Yeah, the tan label. My records are in very good condition. The box set came with 2 additional items, one being this poster, which I do not have. I would have bought this second hand sometime, I assume, in the 1980s. But what it did include was a swatch of Elvis's clothing. A really, really good idea. A piece of Elvis's wardrobe for you. And this is a black shirt. Now, are they really pieces of Elvis's clothing? Yes. There were hundreds of pieces of clothing given for this. You can see this photograph here. It's not the best quality, but you can see them cutting it up. And his suit there from Clambake. By all accounts, part of that collection was Elvis's leather suit from the NBC TV special. It was included in the original pile until somebody thought maybe it wasn't a good idea to cut it up. And thankfully it is preserved and on display in Graceland now. Only the first 150,000 boxes contained a swatch of Elvis's clothing. It would go on to be certified gold in 1999. It's not worth quite as much as the first box, around the $50 mark, but the swatch of clothing can be anything from $80 to $100. The next one release I remember very, very well. Elvis Presley's Greatest Hits, known more commonly as the Reader's Digest box set. Quite interesting here, there's a guarantee inside the box from Reader's Digest. Something that is very neat is this little receipt here, which I have inside the box. It was delivered to Mr. Ravenscroft on the 14th of September 1977. And you would pay Reader's Digest in instalments. An instalment 4 times of £3.25. The price of the box is £14.95. It comes with a book, the Elvis story, pamphlet if you like, and it's okay for the time. It contains 6 albums, all with really nice colored covers, all numbered. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and it's all the hits. Number 6, Proud Mary, Just Can't Help Believing, Bridge Over Troubled Water. What's on number 1? So they do it in an order, yeah. Heartbreak Hotel, I Was the One. It's on a green label. This would have been well played by me at the time, but the condition still looks good. Elvis Presley's Greatest Hits. And it came with a bonus album called Elvis in the Movies. Love Me Tender, Loving You, Wooden Heart, Rockahula, Return to Sender, Bossa Nova, Kissing Cousins, Guitar Man, It's a Wonderful World. Now again, like the first 2 box sets, the sound quality isn't great. Electronically reprocessed for stereo. But this was a very, very important release at the time for people like myself who maybe didn't have a lot of Elvis's early material. And I remember it very fondly. If you got it at the same time as me, you will remember that if you take the back and lay it all on the floor. It makes an Elvis puzzle. It would have sold hundreds of thousands of copies, maybe 1 million, I don't know, but it wasn't part of RCA's catalogue. They did it in conjunction with Reader's Digest, so there is no real sale numbers because it didn't chart. It's not particularly valuable, maybe about $50 for that box set now, but fans of my age will remember it fondly. I would argue that the next set is the most important Elvis box set release ever, celebrating 25 years of Elvis being at RCA, 1955 to 1980. The silver Elvis Aron Presley box set. This really was incredible for the time. It was produced by Joan Deary, who was, I met her in Tupelo actually, but I didn't really know much about her, but she was the Ernest Jorgensen of that time. The set came as a limited numbered edition. On the back here, mine is 18687. And this has really stood the test of time. Booklet inside. Not the easiest thing to open. Nothing incredibly exciting. Some nice pictures here at the back. Treasured photographs of Elvis taken by his fans. Well, this was a massive release for us at the time. Comes with a little RCA. The man became a hero, and that hero became a legend. Disc 1, early live performances. It's from TV shows. There are 8 vinyl albums. Record number 1 has Elvis's performances from the New Frontier in Las Vegas. I think it's quite likely it was the first time that I heard it. On side 2, there was a monologue, an interview that Elvis had done in 1962, which had been unheard at that time as well. And a really, really good interview. Disc number 2 was Elvis's USS Arizona Memorial Concert. It had been out on bootleg, but this was the first official release. This was my favorite at the time. This was Collector's Gold from the movie years. They Remind Me Too Much of You, take number 1, just great. Wild in the Country, alternate take number 16, again great. That alternate version of Shopping Around. And Elvis bursting out laughing, if you remember, on A Dog's Life. This was a big deal at the time. Record number 4, the TV specials, with a picture of Helloa on the front. A combination of songs from Helloa and the NBC special. Record 5 was great as well. This is the Las Vegas years. I think it was the first time I heard the live version of Kentucky Rain. Little Sister Get Back, Yesterday, My Babe in the Ghetto, and the laughing version of Are You Lonesome Tonight. Record 6 is actually a really nice album. It's called The Lost Singles. Singles perhaps forgotten by the mainstream, and I would agree. I'm Leaving, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, Unchained Melody, Fool, Rags to Riches, It's Only Love, America the Beautiful. This was nice. Record number 7 on side 1, Elvis at the piano, I Will Be True, It's Still Here. And this would have been the first time we got the song Beyond the Reef, which was released as the B-side of It's Only Love single. Part 1 of the concert years, it just says Elvis in concert 1975. We later found out, or it became clear, that it was a show recorded in Dallas. And the final one, record 8, is the rest of the Dallas Complete Show, where Elvis mentions or asks the audience if they watched the movie on TV last night, which happened to be That's the Way It Is. It was a hugely important release, Elvis Aron Presley box set. It went on to go platinum, and it is worth still a bit of money, $60, $70. I've seen it go as high as 100. But it was very important to us at the time. I have two copies, strangely, of this one, which was released to coincide with Elvis's 50th birthday. Released in 1984, the tail end of 1984. Again, collectible numbered edition. Mine is 5,144. I didn't like this as much at the time, and I appreciate it more now, I would say. Side 1, Sun outtakes. 2 Dorsey shows. 3 Dorsey shows. The 4 Milton Berle show, Steve Allen show. 5 the Mississippi Alabama Fair. That must have been the first time I heard this. The afternoon show on one side and evening show on the other. 7 again from the Mississippi Alabama Fair on the 26th of September 1956, and Ed Sullivan's show on the other side. Oh, there's a bonus photo here. The William Spear photograph. And a flyer. Side 9, Ed Sullivan, January 57 show. Side 10, this was a big deal at the time. Elvis at home in Germany. Danny Boy, Soldier Boy, The Fool, Earth Angel, and He's Only a Prayer Away. Again, this one significant. Collector's Treasures discovered at Graceland, date unknown. Dark Moon, My Heart Cries for You, Write to Me from Naples, Suppose. I think some of these were the songs recorded by Red West on cassette, and excerpt from Interview for TV Guide. And the final side is the NBC special, Elvis, Burbank, California, 27th of June, 1968. It wasn't a charter, it was very much a collector's release. There was quite a bit of audio restoration at the time, although the set is in mono. If I recall correctly, this one was only a European release, which we got in 1991. Elvis Collector's Gold. This was great. Great sound quality. Record 1, Elvis in Hollywood. Number 2, Nashville. Number 3, Live in Las Vegas. By now, RCA is BMG, and this was maybe the earliest thing from Ernest Jorgensen. The sleeves are very thin paper. It comes with a booklet, and the writing is so small you need a magnifying glass on top of my eyeglasses. But it does contain a lot of alternate takes, and in some cases it says here take unknown, but very small text. The sleeves were very thin and contains the same picture with a different color background. Everything on here was digitally remastered by BMG. My album still is in good condition, but I do remember the Hollywood one that had the first version that I heard of Black Star, and also the original version of Girl Happy. As you know, the Girl Happy release was speeded up, but the original slower version on here. Because it is a European release, it is a collectible, can go for $100 US, and it's a nice set. containing 140 songs and released in 1992. Perhaps the most significant box set ever released by any artist is the complete 50s Masters. 6 albums, Elvis, the King of Rock and Roll. It contains 14 unreleased live performances, Elvis singing Fool, 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 Tweedledee, Maybelline. And it's all the masters from My Happiness up until I Got Stung. I'm just opening the box, and I don't know if this was part of it, but I have a certificate, number 00829, from the president of RCA and the senior vice president of BMG. Total restricted release of 15,000 box sets. Some glossy black and white photographs. And a very detailed booklet, which was really the catalyst on how we would see FTD information in the years ahead. Real session notes, original US albums and extended plays. I remember this getting a lot of praise, critical acclaim if you like, at the time. Again, it's on very thin paper, and each label has the same photograph as what's on the sleeve. But having all of Elvis's masters in one place at that time really was something. Picture here of him in, I think this is Fort Hood. In 1993, we got the Essential 60s Masters Volume 1, again released in both CD and vinyl format. Mine is the vinyl. 6 albums and masters recorded from March 1960 until the Memphis 69 sessions. 130 songs on here with a great Don Craven photograph from August 1960. Comes with the same style booklet as the 50 set, and really nicely produced, presented for the time, and quite similar to the FTDs that we have now, with all the session data. Again, the songs here have been digitally remastered by BMG. What's inside? The greatest recording artist of all time. First day issue of the Elvis stamp. A flyer for the box set and the Elvis in Hollywood DVD. Again, a certificate, number 3180. Collectible stamps from RCA's 1960s record labels. And in the main, very nice covers, albeit thin, the same as the 50s set. I think this is probably my favorite track listing. Western Union, Slowly But Surely, Blue River, Memphis, Tennessee, Ask Me, It Hurts Me, Down in the Alley, Tomorrow's a Long Time, Love Letters, Beyond the Reef, and Come What May. It's a terrific set. I really like it, and it's worth, up to $100 these days if you have it on vinyl. It was released on CD as well. It says the Essential 60s Masters Volume 1, so I was excited to get number 2. But if you remember, number 2 did not come out on vinyl, and it came out as this little box here of 2 CDs. I didn't care for it. I found it a bit disappointing at the time. It's called The Best of the Movies, 2 compact discs. But the music has been remastered. Not as good as they all sound now, but they were good at the time. In 1995, we would get the essential 70s masters, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, with the fabulous cover. My disappointment at the time, it was on CD. I had the 50s and 60s on vinyl, and I really wanted this one on vinyl as well at the time. But it is fabulous for a fan like me growing up in the 1970s. Disc 1 is all the singles. Disc 2, also singles. Disc 3, studio highlights from 1970 to 71. Disc 4, studio highlights 71 to 76. And Disc 5 is the Elvis Presley show, which is a real mixture, mashup. Walk a Mile in My Shoes to Impossible Dream to Suspicious Minds, Unchained Melody. And I had the bonus songs, the 12th of Never rehearsal, which must have been new at the time. The informal rehearsal of Stranger in My Own Hometown, along with Foggy Winter Courting. The very best of Elvis 1970s studio and concert recordings includes 7 previously unreleased songs. Again, with the nice glossy detailed booklet. Very nicely done. Always loved that shot from Chicago. On the back here it has Elvis's, Jay-Z's speech from 1971. So they were the discs. They come in a little jewel case which sits inside the box. I do love it. I just wish that I had it on vinyl. And that's it. That's my Elvis box sets on vinyl. Which one is your favourite?